What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Homestead. Appreciate you guys joining us today. As a lot of you saw in previous videos, we just got hooked up with the YesWelder FIRSTESS MP200. Super sick little machine. We're going to go over a lot of the features it's got. It's got like 5 different functions on this thing, including a plasma cutter. Never seen one of these in person. It's super interesting. Let's get right to it. So we'll start out with the plasma. We're just gonna cut a little chunk off of this metal here and kind of stand it up on edge and just do a few different welds with it as kind of a little test coupon. So we'll go over here to the welder, push the home button, brings us home, and we're gonna go over to plasma, select it. This is pretty thin material, so 30 amps should be plenty. You can see I've got this plugged into 220 there. This machine can take 220 or 110 power, so it's super convenient, super versatile. Let's see how this cuts through this little stuff. Should be just fine though. So as you can see, the plasma mows right through this little stuff. This is like 1/8 inch thick metal, super small. Eats it right up. It is a little finicky. I feel like you have to have the tip extremely close to the metal to get this thing to arc off compared to other like bigger name plasma cutters. But definitely gets the job done once you get the arc going on it. Cuts just like anything else. So let's get these stood up. We'll switch this over to a Mig. We'll start out on a Mig Weld since that's like the most common weld that most DIY guys are going to be doing. We'll get that set up and just start doing a couple welds on these coupons. Super easy to switch this thing. We'll just hang this back up. Go to our home here. Switch it over to Mig with the bottle. You do have the option to do Mig without the gas, but we have the gas. So we're gonna go there, and this is real thin stuff here. We'll set up our entire settings. We'll go select, change our gas to a 75-25. We're welding with a steel 035 wire. You got the option to have 4-step or 2-step. We're gonna keep it on 2-step here. We'll get over to our metal thickness. Pretty thin metal, about 16 gauge, I think is what it is. So we'll go with 16 gauge there. Keep our burn backs in our memory at the preset settings. See how it works. This up here, go for a quick tack. Okay. See if that tack holds. Then we'll just run a small little bead right against this. See how she does. Okay, so I can tell you I need a lot more wire speed, that is for sure. So I'm going to come over here and hopefully crank up my wire speed, but I want my volts back down. So that's an interesting thing here. As you crank up your wire speed, you got to turn your volts back down. Let's see how that does. All right, so that, as you could obviously hear, worked a whole lot better. You can see I was able to kind of bury up my first tack, and that just mowed right through it. Good penetration, no undercut. So let's stand this guy up over here. I'm gonna grab some pliers to do this. Stand this up like this and get a tack on it. All right, and then we're running hardwire, so we'll do vertical, but we got to go down since we're running hardwire. We'll see how vertical looks. Okay, so both of those turned out pretty good. We got a little room left here. We'll just fill in the rest of this just as a flat, just to give you guys a really good eye on what the bead looks like. Let's do it. That's not bad. So we got that. That was a vertical down. Flat welds. These are flat welds. Got a little cold on the bottom there, but otherwise not so bad. Let's get a thicker piece of metal cut. Let's do some 1/4 inch. Same thing, we'll cut it with the plas. Try to MIG weld it and see how this little machine does on that thicker metal. Okay, so we got this thicker plate up here. This is just kind of a chunk of scrap. 1/4 inch steel. We're gonna go over here. I'll show you guys how easy it is to switch this thing. We're on the MIG setting right now. We're gonna go home. We will find the plasma cutter. And since we got that thicker steel over there, we're gonna crank that up to 40. So we're just gonna cut a couple chunks off of this. Get a couple coupons, then we're gonna go back to the MIG, get some welds on it. Got those cut, burned right through it, super easy. Come back here, switch it back to home. Find the MIG with the gas. All our settings are saved for that little chunk of steel, so we're gonna crank this up. We're gonna go here to our metal thickness up at the top and set it to 1/4 inch. Everything else is the same, 035, 75-25 mix. You can see it goes through and changes your settings for you. Come back over here. Don't forget to turn your helmet back on for cutting, because that's always fun. Same thing, we'll get a tack on it, and we'll just stand this one straight up and do a vertical down right off the bat. Okay. Vertical down. Want to check it out? I got a little quick with it right there, but this thing does lay a nice bead. Okay, and then not even going to chip the slag. We're really going to give it a run for its money. Try to burn a flat bead just right over this slag from the plasma cut. I'm going to have holes all in it. So definitely got a little bit of porosity in there from slag on the plasma cut, kind of to be expected. I know sometimes you can get away with it if you can get it hot enough, kind of burn that out of there. But yeah, really good weld, really good bead. What else can we do on this? Let's 4 other functions, let's do a little stick welding. All right, so we're gonna switch it back to plasma. One thing I should note is every time you switch it between welding and cutting, you do have to change the ground. Super easy, it's just a quick turn. Simple as that. Go back to the home, go over to plasma cutting, select it, saves our setting of 40 amps. We're gonna cut another coupon off of here so we can stack this guy up on it, do a little stick welding. Okay, coupon cut. We'll just kind of set that up, something like that. Now we're gonna switch to stick welding, arc welding, old school welding. Go down and get our leads. This welder comes with everything that you pretty much see here, minus the cart and the bottle. Comes with all the necessary accessories, I guess, to get you out the door. So we'll take this, we're gonna go into the positive. Same thing as that ground, just a quick turn. Take the ground out, switch that. Hit the home button. Go to stick welding. We'll select it. Here you can only adjust your amperage. Oh, so that's actually pretty close. Go up to about there. Get some rod. I'll be honest, I'm not the best stick welder out there. I can make it stick together, but I'm more of a MIG welder for sure. We'll see what we can do here. I burned through that. Oh, there's a big ass gap. So like I said, definitely not the best stick welder out there. Had quite a good gap there, and there is a bit of undercut, but the stick welder feature definitely works. Definitely a good option, you know, if you had to run this thing with the door open and there was a lot of breeze coming through here where that shielding gas isn't really gonna stay on that MIG weld. Hopefully I can get better at it, I guess. There's 2 other features that this machine has with it. It has a lift TIG option. Again, I've never done anything with TIG at all in my life, so I'm really excited to try to learn that and mess with that feature. I do believe you want to have 100% argon gas, which I don't have yet. I'm gonna have to get another bottle to run the TIG feature. And then, like I mentioned prior, it does have the option to run the flux core MIG without the bottle on the back. Since we have the bottle, I prefer to just run the hard wire. Maybe eventually down the road, we'll try a dual shield on this machine, see how it runs, see what it does with that. But all in all, this thing is a sweet little unit. The price point is right. Check them out on Kickstarter. Everything's good to go. I think they're doing really well with that, so really look into it. Sweet little setup, guys. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe down below, and we'll catch you in the next video.